Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. You may have formerly known me as the Jonah YouTube channel. Now it is Jonah SVT, and there's a couple reasons for that. So as what you're seeing right now, I have a car, but this is not what the channel's name is about. We'll get into that. Anyways, so I'm kind of going through kind of a rebranding. I ended up buying this IS300 wagon, the Sport Cross. It's my daily driver for running around, going to car meets, different car events with it. Well, that's not the only car we have now. I have a second car, and that is the namesake of the video and the channel name change. So, before I bought the wagon, I really liked the idea of like a muscle car, as all teenagers do. And I knew a friend of mine had a Terminator Cobra. And I was like, that would be an awesome first car. I didn't know the condition of it. And I talked to him, and I'm like, hey, do you still have that Terminator? He said, yeah, I do. It's sitting on a trailer, hadn't been touched in a while. It's rough. So what had happened is, when I was looking for cars, there was a phase where I really wanted a Mustang. It's what my uncle had, and I just generally fell in love with the SN95 New Edge body style. And I happened to know somebody who had one at the time. My thought was, well, how rough can this car be? It didn't disappoint. But I was still kind of wanted it, but we went back and forth negotiations, and I ended up passing on it. It wasn't actually like for sale. It was just like a private sale. And so I went on with my life. He'd wanted like $2,500 for the trailer and the car and the seats and stuff. And I kind of moved on. I bought the wagon. Came back to him about a year later. Hey, you still have it? Yeah, I still do. Couldn't come to a price agreement. So once again, I walked away. But he said he'd hold on to it. And I said, I will come back for it. And so I wanted the car. I couldn't figure out how I was going to pull this off. He said after about another year to half a year, hey, I'm going back overseas for work. And at that point, the car's getting scrapped or sold or something. Like, I'm going to get rid of it. And I was devastated. I kind of hung my head in shame knowing I couldn't save this car. Well, he ended up losing his job, which was a bummer for him, but kind of good in a way, because it did give me more time. And he got another job. He was going back overseas. I happened to be in town. It was for spring break. And I talked to him, and we didn't know where the car was, actually. It had been moved by the owner of the storage lot. And we talked, and he's like, yeah, I found it. If you want it, it's yours. I'm like, okay, well, how much is the trailer? I'll trade you the model car you're building for the trailer. And I said, okay. So we had about 48 hours to go from Orlando to Braden, Florida, to actually go grab this car. And we scooped down there, 3 different runs to the parts stores, 1 run to the tire store, and we pulled that thing out of there at about 5 o'clock, maybe 4 o'clock. We didn't make it home till about 8 or 9, but I got home back to our place in Florida. We started cleaning it up, and it is a true Terminator. I mean, it's whooped. It's going to need a frame, needs drivetrain, wiring, interior, suspension, absolutely everything. We have a rolling shell, basically, and not even a rolling shell. We have a shell, because nothing that is in this car is going to stay on this car pretty much, except for the few body panels we have. But this is the start of Jonah SVT. Thank you and have a great day.